like that song.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, we are back
Yes.
for another opportunity. Thanks for tuning in tonight to Our Bond Live. If you would, do us a big favor. Please follow us on these platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and please share this
right now
video. We are live. We are here. We are thankful for another opportunity to talk about some trending topics tonight, right?
Yes, so what Our Bond Live is just the full circle of life. We discuss each Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time topics, trending topics, and then we, like you said last week, we harmonize it.
Right.
So we give you a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know, just a different way to look at it and see how it can relate to your own life.
Correct.
And prayerfully, you know, this helps you along the way. We go from there. We have fun while doing it.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for you to tune in, just fellowship with us, hear a different perspective, our perspective, and then ultimately we feel like we are founded on biblical foundation. So we try to share God's perspective on what we think from different topics that are taking place during this time. So we are thankful for you guys coming in and being a part of
Our Bond Live. So
Live.
Tonight we have on different shirts. We represent in our colors. Okay, these are colors that only a chosen few know about. So we're representing them tonight.
Everybody know about them, but you know everybody just can't be a part.
Okay, enough said.
Enough said. All right.
Take down the follow us thing.
All right. So
you ready to get in?
Let's roll, babe.
See, so how we normally do it, I set it up, and then, you know, he finishes it.
Yeah, she's the setup lady, and then I'm the closer.
Okay, so the first topic is going to be about adult children.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Adult children still staying at home.
Yeah.
So we have two examples of that, and so bring them up. We have first, you already...
I'm ready to go to...
Yes, already trying to go to the question. No.
Yeah.
First, we have Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
And those are his two sons.
Uh-huh.
And we grew up listening to his music.
One last cry.
Yes.
One last cry.
Yes. I remember back in the early 90s, he would come up to A&M, Huntsville, because he attended Oakwood.
Really?
Yeah, he grew up Seventh Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist?
Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay.
He always corrects.
Yeah.
How I look with these glasses.
You are good.
You're studious tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're very studious, but you're sexy at the same time.
Thank you. So he has two sons that he did a different perspective on not having them at home.
Yeah.
He paid for 2 years of 2 years of their expenses.
Yeah.
One was age 20 and the other one was at age 23.
Mm-hmm.
So he paid 2 years of their rent, their utilities, all of their bills, car payments, all of that.
Yeah.
And before he cut them off financially.
Yeah.
So that's how he set them up.
So you're saying he gave them 2 years head start, a foundation of taking care of all the responsibilities, and they could try to get themselves together within that 2 year frame of time, frame.
Yeah, so they had 2 years to find a job, find a career, you know, go to school, do things that, you know, to develop themselves into adults, productive adults in society. And then afterwards he stopped his financial backing. Okay. And then you have Reginae down there with her mom Toya. You know, we used to listen to her father too.
Lil Wayne. The block is hot.
Yes. So what she did, she recently at the age of 20 purchased her own home. Okay. Now she's lived on and off with her mom, Toya, here in Atlanta. She went to Clark for a minute, you know, to then figure out college wasn't for her.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has been she was living with her mother for the most part, on and off. And then she was able to save her money.
Yeah.
They also say stack their coins.
Stack the coins.
Stack their coins, save
get
her
the bag, money. All that.
Yeah, and she was able to purchase her own home. Now there's two different scenarios, and what we're familiar with in our culture, I can only speak for the African American culture, is you always hear, once you get 18, you grown, you get out the house.
Yeah.
You get out the house. I don't know where you're going, but you got to get out of here because you're grown now.
Yeah.
Now, some 18-year-olds can't wait to get out the house, and they're running out the house.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah. And then others are told to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Now, so my question, something that I want to bring up because of this, what is best? Because if you say, okay, you're 18, you get out the house, are you setting them up to fail? Because what do they know at that young age about money management?
Yeah.
How much the rent should be in ratio to, or their mortgage in ratio to what their income is.
Yeah.
Because mortgage companies, they look at your
They look at everything.
It shouldn't be, and you should take the same approach when you're paying rent, but it shouldn't be more than like 28% to 30%
of your total
your net income that you get.
Yeah.
So if you're only making $1,500 a month, your rent and your mortgage shouldn't be $1,000.
No,
right?
it should not.
Way over 28, 30, 30%. So where do they learn these? So if we just kick them out initially, now you got some that go to college.
Yeah, some do go to college.
But
even college, in a sense, doesn't really prepare you financially for how to properly budget your money. And even if you're setting yourself up to get a job, but if that job or that career that you're pursuing in college, getting your credits and everything to get ready to pursue that profession, they don't even really set you up to make good financial decisions when you get out there on your own. So really you're left to yourself, or left to the education that you may have gotten from your parents
or from your friends,
or
you watch others,
but
not really knowing their purse, not really knowing their pocket,
exactly.
But you watch others. So what is the best way? You got the Brian McKnight way, which was that was innovative. That was different. That was different. And then you have some parents that might give their child a lump sum money. You got so many different scenarios. Right?
Yeah,
child that gives them a lump sum of money, but they don't know how to manage it, and they lose it.
Yeah.
Or you got some that just live at home, and then think about it too. Is it okay? Typically, when you're in college, or if you're still like in a trade school or something, you're still kind of living at home.
Yeah.
But you might become an upperclassman or whatever, and might want to get an apartment and all that. But do you allow them to come back after they've graduated?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents are really dealing with that, even with what's happening in society now with student loans and children not being able to find jobs after they graduate college. And so they have to come back home and try to even regroup and get themselves together to try to find jobs. And so now you're seeing kids 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 still at home because they hadn't properly found something that that's good for them to move in their career. So you're looking at major issues, and then you got expenses and lights and water and food and all of that from a grown up coming back in the house. So how do you handle that?
So let's ask. You want to ask a question now?
Yeah, I'm cool. We can go to the question and see how we can move and address this. So yeah, let's go to the question.
Okay. So we want you to interact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the first question we're going to ask you all, and respond in the comments.
All right.
Question 1. At what age should a child move out of the house? A, as soon as they graduate from high school. B, when they graduate from college or trade school. C, they can stay with me as long as they pay rent. D, they can stay at home until they are able to take care of themselves. Or E, not more than a year after they finish school.
All right. So we want you to comment and give us your answers.
Oh, you took it away so quick.
Oh, okay. We can put it back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see. Give them time to look at it.
Give them time to look at it. All right. So please.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as they graduate. Okay. So I'm going to read it again. At what age should a child move out of the house? As soon as they graduate from high school, when they graduate from college or trade school. C, they can stay with me as long as they pay rent. Or D, they can stay at home until they are able to take care of themselves. E, not more than a year after they finish school. So what do you think?
So what I think, and I'm trying to be as gracious and possible as possible for my daughters, because you never know what scenario they are in. I would say personally, D, they can stay at home until they're able to take care of themselves. And that would be me as a dad dealing with daughters. Now, if it was a son, I would be like,
so there's a double standard.
I'd be like, you got to go ASAP.
Interesting. Why is there a double standard?
Because I feel like as young men, we're supposed to go out and get that money to make sure that we're able to take care of ourselves and also preparing ourselves to take care of a family when we get to that stage in life. So
okay, I can see that. I see someone say D and then someone say E. I would say, I think it was D. They can stay with. It's kind of like
D was what I said.
Yeah, they can stay with me as long as they pay rent. Or was that C?
No, that was C.
Okay, they can stay with me as long as they pay rent. I want to train them to be like you. When I was growing up, my granddaddy, granddaddy used to always say, the only thing I'm supposed to do is oh
Lord, don't say that. Yeah.
Is stay black and pay taxes. That's all granddaddy said. Yeah, pay that, stay black, pay taxes, and die. That's all. That's what my granddaddy used to say. Right. I want to teach the girls that when you're grown, you can't stay anywhere for free.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to learn how to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't want them just staying at home and not contributing, and not, because that breeds a lazy child.
A lazy child entitled. So I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, you gotta pay something.
You gotta
reduced. It'll be within their budget.
Yeah.
But you gonna pay something once you're grown, because
you gotta carry your weight.
Yes, you have to carry your weight. You'll be out there making grown decisions. You're going to work each day.
Yeah.
So you have to pay something.
And I can agree to that, because you don't want your child just being just lazy and just sitting in the house playing video games or watching TV or whatever the case may be, and not really being actively involved in the process of trying to find a job or anything like that. Because sometimes that's what happens. Kids come home from college, they graduate from college, and then I got to figure out what my plan is, but they hadn't really thought about a plan, and all they've been doing is just mooching,
right,
and living off the parents' hard work.
Right. So I was one of those that moved back home. Mm-hmm. I tried the apartment life for a minute. Mm-hmm. I wasn't really managing my money right. Mm. So whatever. I moved back home.
That's a part of life, right?
It is what it is. And I was able to save enough money to where I purchased my first home.
Yeah.
When I was single.
Yeah.
So,
and, Yeah. And I think what happened with me, I moved. Matter of fact, when I graduated high school, I pretty much stayed on campus as much as I possibly could. I may have come home when I came home for like maybe a few days, and I was back on campus at college. And then when I graduated college, I moved to Atlanta, so I had to have some funds to be able to have an apartment and stuff like that. And so I had an apartment and stayed and never looked back, and that's what I would expect. Kind of
like that, but
you would hope. I mean, that would be my perspective. You would hope.
We kind of stay close at home. Maybe not all of us. Some of us just be ready to leave as soon as. But it depends on your home environment as well. Too.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
So
we want to hear some more comments. Come on in. The question is, and then we're going to put the question up one more time so that you can see what the question is. At what age should a child move out of the house? A, as soon as they graduate from high school. B, when they graduate from college or trade school. C, they can stay with me as long as they pay rent.
Yeah, that was me. See,
the child, they can stay at home until they are able to take care of themselves. That was me at first.
That can be forever. That can take 20, 30 years.
We need to put a little caveat to D. There's a time limit on that, though. And E, not more than a year after they finish school. And that. Hey, that could work for some, and sometimes. So let's hear your answers. Okay, we see another answer. C.
They can stay with me.
They can stay with me as long as they pay rent. Okay. Cool. So, with that being said, and I think about that from time to time because within a few years, our daughters are going to be out of the house and we're going to be empty nesters. So wow, that's crazy, man.
And what if they all come back home?
If they all come back home,
that's a lot of rent money.
Yeah, that's a lot of rent money, right? Oh, we get that rent now. But yeah, I mean, hey, we'll be making sure that number one, they have a roof over their head. So another comment, D.
That was says,
all right.
As long as they can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay. Yeah, and those that don't know us, we've been married 15 years. We have 4 daughters from ages what are their ages? 9 to almost 14. So that's why we were like, when they all come back, that'll be we have to take that one step at a time. And every child is different.
This is good too.
You can't.
We just saw a comment.
Okay, I'll say this and then we'll read the comment. Every child is different too. It's just not like cookie cutter. It's not just one for all.
Yeah.
Because every child has different personalities. Every child learns differently.
Yeah.
Every child progresses at a different time than others.
Yeah.
So it's individually. It's per child. Okay, what you want?
So we saw a comment, what about I pay rent, I can do what I want. Now, it will be better because if you're coming back into our home, and this is just our perspective, if you're coming back into our home, we're going to give you a level of freedom because you are, reaching at adulthood or you're at an adult stage. However, it is still our house and everything will not take place up in our house. Now, when you get your own place and you got your own key and you can go in when you feel like it, then but
because even landlords have rules.
So from that standpoint, I don't know if I'm going to be as open to let my daughters do everything. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. So I think the biggest thing is being able, and then I see another comment, not in my house. I kind of feel you on that, Sister Lisa. I kind of feel you on that because from the standpoint of, you're still coming into my home, so there's still a level of dependency that you're depending on us for a level of provision.
Yes.
And so with that level of provision, you don't have as much leeway to be able to make the rules how you want to when you're still under our supervision and provision. So I would venture to say, hey, you got some freedom. You might, you might can come in.
Like
when you feel like
for example, there's this level of respect.
Yeah.
We teach our girls, that sex is for marriage.
Yes.
So if you're living with us, there's not going to be a guy sleeping over.
No.
Period. I mean,
first of all, that ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen because that goes against what we're teaching.
Oh my goodness.
Now of course, visiting and stuff like that.
You visit, hang out for a little bit.
You go
but then
out.
There will be a term. A time limit on your visitations.
Yeah, but if you
go out, you got
to
get out of here. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out.
out of here. But also too, though, there's like you were saying about the leeway.
Yeah,
you're young adults. We went out.
Yeah, we did.
We went out to clubs. We went out to parties, did different functions and stuff like that, and we didn't have a curfew. I get that. But there's just certain things that, we don't allow in the house. And
the more we're learning and the more we're growing is you want to provide an environment that is conducive for them living their best life. And if they're going to live their best life, there are certain things that you don't want to even give them opportunities or expose them to. I don't want no outside influences dictating what happens in my house. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to set the foundation. I'm going to set the environment. And if you're coming in into this home, then basically the environment that has been set will have some boundaries. And so you have to set those boundaries as parents. But I would open up the doors to my daughters to let them have opportunities. And
then you trust that what you've raised, you've raised them to where they'll make the right decisions.
Yeah,
they're not perfect.
Yeah, they're not perfect.
But you can only do as much as you can.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So
ready for the next
story? let's set up the next.
This one is dear to my heart.
Yeah, let's set up the next scenario. The next topic.
Okay, so beautiful family. Eva Marcille. Not last name Sterling, because she's married now.
Yeah.
She was the first winner, I think, from America Next Top Model.
Yeah.
I don't know how many years. Maybe
that was a while.
Was that 20?
I don't know if it was 20, but that was a while back.
But that's when Tyra Banks used to have
early
that.
2000s, maybe.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
She used to have that show, and Eva Marcille won. She was the America Next Top Model, and now she's currently on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yeah,
and her husband, he was a mayoral candidate, Michael Sterling.
Yeah.
Whenever they were running, he was running against.
He was running against Keisha Lance Bottoms. Yeah.
Yes, love her. So Mayor
Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have the child that she's holding is theirs together, and she entered into the relationship with the daughter.
Yeah.
Yes, and now she's currently pregnant with their second child together if she hadn't had the baby already.
Yeah.
But at any rate, she recently changed the last name of her daughter. Mm-hmm. Now Michael is not the biological father. Mm-hmm. And he is still living. And there are some issues with that. Don't know the issues.
Yeah, don't know all the background with that information.
So we're just looking at just the basic of she changed the daughter's last name into where now it's officially Sterling.
Yeah.
So everyone in the household's last name is Sterling. And now, so she's getting a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of comments, things like, okay, what if, and people always think about the worst.
Yeah.
what if y'all don't work out? You
Yeah.
know, what if y'all get a divorce?
Yeah.
Now you done changed the baby name. That's
Yeah.
not even her biological father.
Yeah.
Or you don't want, you know, her to know about her biological dad.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you shouldn't
Yeah.
do
You
that.
shouldn't do
and
that.
all,
Yeah.
all of that. And she basically, Lord, I had it on my phone. And I cut my phone off. Oops.
Turn it off.
Okay.
But go ahead.
She basically, what did she say? It was basically, she felt that it was right for their household.
Yeah.
And I think it was something on the lines of, okay, I've experienced a name change at the age of 12.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the reason why they thought it was best, it would be more socially acceptable.
Got you.
Everyone's in the everyone
has the same last
had
name.
the same
Yeah.
last name in the house. My father had been missing for a while, and so my mom remarried, and then he was the one, you know, there, you know, helping to take care of me. So my last name changed. So me as a 12, I remember going in front of the judge. Oh my God, I had to go to like a judge's chamber.
Wow.
And I remember the big chair and all that stuff. And but me sort of with my scenario, my birth name, last name was Okumu.
Mm-hmm.
I remember kids used to say Okumu.
Yeah.
You know, make jokes about
Kids
it.
can be harsh.
They can be harsh.
Yeah.
And then so then my name changed to McLinden. Well, my stepfather adopted me, right? So legally, and he's still on my birth certificate. I have two, right?
Yeah.
So it was McLinden. So with that, when that happened to me, I thought that my history was kind of erased. No one ever said that.
Yeah.
No one ever said that.
Yeah.
But I had a different last name.
Yeah.
So I got to know my new family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then over time, I realized that I was nothing like my new family.
Yeah.
Like I had still a biological side that I needed to explore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
later on in life, when I explored it, I realized that I am so much a part of the Okumu
bloodline.
Oh my God. My first degree it was the same as his. Didn't even know that.
As her
my
biological father, yeah.
You know, I was an all-star athlete.
And he was an all-star athlete
to college.
And he played on the Kenyan national team.
Yes, the Kenyan national team. My work ethic, how I work, you know, so it's amazing how, and I wanted you to chime in.
Yeah.
When you change, like, what does a person's name, the biological name, mean? Now, I know when we get married, our name does change, and now we're apart. But changing a name, what biblically does that represent?
So when you look at names from a biblical perspective, really in the Old Testament, and you see some in the New, but Abram's name was changed to Abraham. Sarai name was changed to Sarah. Jacob's name was changed from Jacob to Israel. And then you had specific names that were given to children. Jabez was named his name because his mother bore him in pain. So the name Jabez meant pain. And so even when Samuel was born, God told his mother to specifically name him Samuel. From a New Testament perspective, they wanted Jesus' name to be Jesus, John's name to be John, Saul's name was changed to Paul. So when you look at it from that standpoint, and then come from an Americanized standpoint, one name meant identity. So your first name kind of meant from an identity standpoint.
Okay. Your
last name, what I see from an Americanized standpoint, means heritage. So one name means identity, personality, like your first name. your last name means the heritage or the line that you come from. So, so when you look at it from those perspectives, you're saying, okay, so whatever your first name, that kind of that denotes your personality. Oshabar, Mufasa. Anyway.
That's what I'm talking about,
baby. but you see that from that standpoint. And I didn't even find out what my first name was until a few years ago.
Yeah, when we were married.
And I don't even think my parents really, when they named me a name that kind of flowed with all of my other brothers' names. And so my name felt like it was a collage of all of their names, because I was the baby boy. So, but I found out that my name has a Nigerian background, and it means "thank you, Father," which
you look Nigerian.
The high cheekbones. Everybody always say that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So I would say your first name, from my perspective, is your identity, and your last name is your heritage. That's why when you get married, a woman gets married, she changes her last name from her mother and father's to now her husband.
Because now we're
so now legacy. This is a new heritage. This is a new legacy that you're building together. So, so when you look at it from that standpoint, first name identity, last name heritage, and so with the name change of Eva changing her daughter, she's now changing the heritage of her daughter from the last name of her first her baby daddy's father, baby daddy, who his last name to now her current husband's last name, which is changing the heritage. And really, when you look at it from that standpoint, when that happens, they are now legally binded to that family that they're in. So when you look at it from that standpoint, she gets all the rights and privileges, even as a biological child.
She does.
Why? Because legally she has changed her name.
Right.
And it was consent from the mother and the father for that to take place.
There's issues with that.
Oh, there is not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now, I'm not talking about the biological father, but I'm talking about them two.
Yeah.
Coming and making that decision.
Yeah. But my prayer is that she does not, that her daughter, when she grows up, that she learns as much
about her
biological father. And I think he might be a part of her life. But I'm just saying, changing my take on it, changing someone's name does not erase their history.
No.
I think, like what you were saying, that was an eloquent way of how you explain that. I learned a lot from that, and I love it when we don't talk beforehand about this stuff, because this is like what we do.
Yeah,
like,
we have conversations like this all the time.
We just talk about stuff. So we're inviting you into our conversation.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I really learned a lot, and I like that. So. Even though her now trajectory is a different heritage, though, she still biologically has
connected is to connected. That name, to that last name.
Yeah.
And really, when you think about it, you're still connected to the last name, even though you took my last name.
Oh, yeah, I am.
So from that standpoint, you're never going to lose that aspect of that biological side, that side of you that makes you who you are. The essence of who you are, because when your mother and your father laid down together, they created you, and so those two parts of you will never be taken away. But from a legal standpoint or from a heritage standpoint, when that name is changed, the biological father can come back into life and say, hey, I want to leave this to my child or whatever, because that's still my biological child. So there's still a responsibility there. But now from his standpoint, Michael Sterling's standpoint, he has a responsibility to leave a heritage for her because and I'm pretty sure any man that does take a wife that already has a child, if they're good, if they're a good,
her, like she was his own.
Yeah, if they're a good father, and they're going to want to make sure that they leave that heritage or that legacy for, because that's a package deal.
Yeah,
that's not just the wife coming in and you ignore the child, but you bring on the child and everything that she's connected to. If you love the wife, then you gotta love the child.
You automatically love, because they're a part of them.
They're a part.
You can't not love
who's connected to the person that you love.
Who you love. Period.
Period. There may be differences of opinion. There may be, even some, and there may be some children that might not be the best children, and maybe they've grown up to a period of point.
Yeah.
But we even have that in our own personal biological families, where you have children that grew up in the family, but they just did not make the right decisions. They just seemed like they were on their own beaten path, and they didn't listen to the guidance and instruction of their parents, and they went their own way. But you still love them because they're still part of your family.
Yeah, connected to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, you dropping knowledge.
So we
God, I mean, for real.
Stop it, boo.
My baby.
But our responsibility is to make sure that we do that. So we got a question.
Right. Okay.
That we want to pose to our audience, and we want you to comment on your feelings on this question. So we're about to
take them off first.
So we're about to post the question, and
can I read the question?
Go ahead, read the question, boo. You got your glasses on. You're looking cute.
I do. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna read the question and y'all comment. What is the primary reason to change a child's name from the biological father's last name? A, to have the child represented by the parental guardian that takes care of them. B, to protect the child or parent from embarrassment. C, to be in unity with the last names of the house. D, to give the child a new identity. Or E, to hurt the other parent.
Wow.
That does happen.
Yeah, that does happen
with
too.
E.
Yeah.
I'll read it again. What is the primary reason to change a child's name from the biological father's last name? A, to have the child represented by the parental guardian that takes care of them. B, to protect the child or parent from embarrassment. C, to be in unity with the last names of the house. D, to give the child a new identity. Or E, to hurt the other parent.
All right. So we want the comments to come in.
To have the child represented by the parental guardian. E, to hurt the other parent.
Yeah.
That does happen.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I guess we can get out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes too, it doesn't have to necessarily be a situation like Eva's. It can be there at the hospital when the child is born.
Yeah.
If there's an issue, let's say the mom and the dad are having issues, she might give them her last name.
Yeah.
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 And so that's another.
Especially if the relationship did not end in an amicable way, and there's contention between the father and the mother. You can see that happen too as well, because man, I mean, you never know what's in a person's mind when that happens, when it does happen.
Right.
And so, you're supposed to, I won't even say, are you, so let me ask you this question. Are you supposed to name the child after the biological father?
Yeah, they're at the hospital
Mm-hmm.
after you've given birth to them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Okay.
Because it's that, you know why? I hate to say half on the baby because I don't want to listen to that song anymore. But it's half theirs.
Yeah.
It's half theirs. And so that's the part of why not?
Okay. I was just
we got two C's and an E. What was the C again? What was the C?
Oh, it was C. Let's see what was C again. To be in unity with the last names of the house.
I think that was my personal situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some do that too, because you got some folk out here who, well, what's your last name? I mean, we've even seen it with when we register our children for school.
Yeah.
We've seen it where we've had our 4 daughters come together, and then they ask the question, if I just come with my 4 girls, and then like, what's their last name?
Like,
and then all of them the same,
and then they'll say they all
got the same last name.
Yes,
they do. But here's the thing: society. We've seen it so much in society, and there's a lot of blended families, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of blended families, so teachers and other people have come to expect that the child's last name is not going to be like their parent.
Even with their friends ask them, so you have the same mama and this, y'all all had the same mama and the same daddy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's just these are the questions that we like to pose.
Yeah.
Because it's a reality.
And these are real situations that everybody go through on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. And we should be able to discuss these things and talk about these things because they are happening, and we want to share light to the situation, and we don't. There are not right and wrong ways to do certain things. People do things because of how they operate, or even how they were trained or raised.
Right.
So so let's look. It says
hopefully y'all can hear us. Yeah. Can y'all hear us? Something was happening with our stream.
All right. So we've seen, I picked C so that the child doesn't feel different. Man gave child his name, and he accepts the child. Then see me too. In some cases, the stepdad accepts and treats the child better than the biological dad.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you know what? And that's another thing too. You don't have to be the biological dad to be a father.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fathers out there that that you don't hear of that really step up and take care of children that are not biologically theirs. Yeah. So I get that, if they want to then now adopt the child. Mm-hmm. That's a blessing. Yeah. That is a blessing. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. So. And there are some good moms out there too. That accept the husbands or their significant others' children. Yeah. Yeah. So it I think when you got good loving hearts and good people who want to just do the right thing, and if they have an opportunity to really just love their significant other, they gotta. I mean, I just feel like you can't love your significant other, your spouse, without loving who they're attached to. Now, they might be attached to some crazy folk, but at the same time, you still make room to love them, and I think that's real big. Make room. Make room.
And for marriage, I heard this. Someone say, marriage is not perfect, but their marriage is purposed. Yeah. So when you say you're in the blended family and you have those different scenarios of some children that might cause some issues. Yeah. You have a purpose together. Mm-hmm. So maybe God put y'all together so that you can help mend the family. Yeah. Yeah. You got to sometimes think of it from that perspective. Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of times when God brings couples together, the purpose is more so bigger than them two together. Sure is. And I feel like there's a greater cause for when marriages come together, not just for the betterment of the husband and wife or for the satisfaction or pleasure of the husband and wife. But I also, too, still feel like there are ways that a husband and wife, even in a blended situation, can be able to be an example for both sides of the families that they've come from.
and the children that are involved in that process, whether they're young or they're old. It doesn't matter. I think it can be a foundation that is being set, and a new. We had a post on our OURBOND Live page to marry somebody that you want to break generational curses
That's
together.
right. That was good.
And I think that's sometimes God will bring people together to be able to break the generational curses and cycles that have been going on in the family tree for years and years and years. And so with that, I feel like when you have marriages that are strong and that are really truly trying to, glorify God in a way, God gives those marriages an opportunity to break those generational curses.
And that's why,
or those things that have,
and then play on words too. Our bond, bond, So it's talking about our bond, but like a marriage bond, it should break like my husband said, curses. You should be able to affect everyone you come around.
Yeah, start new legacies.
All of those things. Yes, start with your household.
Yeah,
and then go forward.
Yeah.
Go forward. And so you should breed. You should be able to breed others like you.
Yeah, most definitely.
Positively.
Because
if you do it wrong.
Oh, yeah, you're going to breed something else.
Ooh, like remember Gremlins?
you're gonna turn into something that you don't want.
God.
Yeah.
There was like one little gizmo. Okay,
all right. Okay.
I'm sorry. I love
we
that
digress.
movie. Okay.
But we want to continue that process that when you have a relationship and you're having a bond that what the scripture says, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So in the sense of that, you have a relationship to where you're actually creating a life not only for the husband and the spouse, but for the children and the children's children. And even if those relationships did not last and you now enter into a new relationship, because we are in reality and we know that this happens. So now you still have an opportunity to shape or create something that can be a benefit to the people that you come in contact with in your family tree. So it's very important. It's very important that this takes place. So we want to still hear some of your comments.
Yeah. Any questions?
So or anything that? Yeah, we got a few minutes, so we don't want to go over our time, but we still have a few comments.
I think this was good.
Yeah.
I think this is. I think this is good. I really do like just talking about just different topics, and those topics it turned into other topics.
Yeah.
So we always here at OURBOND, we start with what's trending, but then we quickly like to point it back to us or you, so that you can, because we don't want to just be have a show just be talking about folks. That's not how we operate. What we're about. We want, every time we open our mouths, we try to, like we're saying, our marriage is purposeful. Every time we speak, it needs to have a purpose. It never needs to tear anyone down. It needs to build people up, give people hope. And that's what we pray for our OURBOND Live, our Not Easily Broken Marriages, OURBOND. It's just think about things from a different perspective. And also too, I'm always looking at what's happening around social media and stuff like that, because you can learn from the mistakes of others. You can learn from their mistakes. So you see what others are going through, and it can help you out. You don't have to talk about it. You can pray about it. But then you can also say, okay, well, how does that situation relate to me? And
I'll say this: whatever we try to do, we want to leave the situation better than when we found it.
That's true.
I'm a proponent of things need to. I need to be an asset and not a liability.
Correct. That's good.
So even with this platform that we're using, we want to add to people's lives, and we don't want to take away from people's lives.
Right.
We feel like when we do this, we have an opportunity to add value to add something to your life that maybe you might not have talked about, but it brings some level of it's an income and not something that takes away from you.
Yeah.
So
asset liability.
Yeah, asset. Yeah. So any other comments?
Debit, credit.
Before we share some more information. We're getting close. We're about 7 minutes to our destination.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have. I just want to let y'all know, any couples that are married.
Yeah.
We have intimate couple sessions.
Yeah.
Every second Friday.
Yeah.
And those of y'all that are on this live feed, we have something planned for y'all on our next meeting, Friday, September the 13th at 6:30. Y'all gonna have to wear comfortable shoes.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, okay.
We got a treat.
Ooh,
so watch us.
Yes.
Come and fellowship with us.
Yes, it's Not Easily Broken Marriages, Friday, September 13th, 6:30. You can text our bond, not our bond live for this one, our bond to 31996 to be added to the group, so that you can stay up to date and get notifications, because we send out things privately. We tell everyone that's a safe environment.
Yeah.
What's said in there stays in there.
Yeah.
And we hold people accountable to that.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You cannot be a part of it. And be messy. You can't bring no drama to the situation. No drama. It's free. We break any shackles or chains or anything. It's like it's an open forum to where we try to have everyone feel comfortable and just be open and honest. So every second Friday. So the next meeting is Friday, September 13th at 6:30 p.m. We would love to have you there at Second Mount Vernon Baptist Church.
Come on through. We'll be glad to have you.
Yes, we have a comment, a question.
We had a comment. It says, when you learn from others' mistakes, you should pass it on. And I'll just say that too. I read a book, and and one of the books is called "You Win Some, You Learn Some."
Yeah. You
don't lose. You only lose when you don't learn from your mistakes.
Period.
So, and I think that's a wonderful way to even look at it. I would never want to go through a situation and don't learn from it, because when we don't learn from it, we are destined to repeat it. Yeah.
To repeat.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think that's good. I think that's good.
So thank you for that comment, Jacqueline.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Any more questions?
Any more questions, comments? We're going to...
So continue to follow us and share, like our page. We're on all the platforms. YouTube, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to our YouTube page.
We're here every Tuesday, 7 p.m.
Instagram, Facebook, and we're trying to build as much of an audience because we feel like we have something to say and something to share to as many people as possible. So please share. Please let everybody know about OURBONDLIVE. And we're going to continue this every Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Come rain or shine.
Yes.
We're going to be committed to this process because we're committed to the people that we want to reach. And we have something to share. And we feel like this is God ordained.
Yes.
All right.
So y'all have a good evening. Are we done?
Yeah, I think we're done. We're done.
I'm
Thank
hungry.
you, guys.
We gotta eat.
We got some stuff that we need to do.
Yeah.
So continue to follow us. We appreciate y'all, and we hope that we see you all on next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Please tell other people about OURBONDLIVE.
Like
Please tell them, like our page.
Share
all right.
This video.
And share this video.
Good
all right,
night,
guys.
Everyone.
Take care. Peace.